One of the most enjoyable parts of my job would be working with startup companies. There are so many startups in this area. It is chock full of opportunity because of the just incredible accelerator programs we've got, the incubator programs, the venture capital that's in this space, and just the ceiling is just so high right now for startups. And so whether that's a company that's still at one person or maybe they're at the 20, 30, 40 person mark, it's exciting to think about what could be the next SaaS, what could be the next Pendo, what could be the next thing that grows right here in our backyard. With a startup company, there are so many risks involved with hiring, right? There's just the risk of bringing on someone new into a small team and shaking up that culture. There's the risk of, if I take this long to train someone and I pay to have them come on board and they don't end up working out, not only do I lose time, but I'm losing money. And that's, for a startup, that can be really, really detrimental and that can possibly even kill their business. It can oftentimes be riskier to hire for a startup rather than a large corporation, because in a large corporation, if someone isn't the perfect culture fit or doesn't have exactly the skill set that someone is looking for, they can hide a little bit more easily within a team. It's not to say that culture and experience aren't important at a larger corporation. There's just a little bit more coverage. At a startup, you're exposed. There's a lot more vulnerability, and so there has to be a different plan, and there has to be a different method by which startups recruit. When a startup wants to start thinking about hiring, I think it is so easy, and it's easy to do this in all of life. We want to be reactive. We see a need, and we automatically think that it's a fire that immediately needs to be put out. Oftentimes companies, the reason why they have bad hires is because they have been reactive in hiring. They have hired to meet a need as opposed to hiring to move the business forward. And so I encourage companies to begin having conversations about hiring well before they anticipate having that need. That way the budgets are in place, the decision makers are in place, the processes are in place, so that it's not just this jumbled mess of resumes and interviewing and no one really knows what's going on, and then someone gets in the role and then you find out 3 months later you didn't actually need that person. In terms of the recruiting process and the types of candidates that our recruiting team that we're generally looking for in a startup. So I think it can kind of come from a few different approaches. There's oftentimes candidates who are coming from a larger corporation who have several years of incredible operational experience and operational knowledge that can be actually really helpful for a growing startup. That person, though, they have to be able to come in and be okay with every day not looking the same. They have to be able to come in and want to help something be built from the ground up, as opposed to having everything laid out on a platter for them. And another approach is hiring really for the attitude and the aptitude as opposed to the direct experience. That, even more than the experience, can be the thing that sets someone apart in the interview process, especially with a startup. Again, knowing how those needs are constantly changing. So someone who's coachable, adaptable, and wants to get into a company, roll their sleeves up, and do whatever it takes to make it succeed. There's a lot of aspects of hiring that are really daunting. Anytime you deal with people, there are so many variables at play. But there's also an aspect that's really exciting, because there's an unknown aspect of, wow, what could this person do? What could this person be? And so getting to help a company uncover that is a really exciting opportunity for us, and one that we look forward to continuing.